welcome to the broadcast tonight, and thank you so much for choosing us to inform you tonight. We have so much lined up for you, but we first begin with the stories that are making headlines tonight.
We have an additional 16 persons turning positive, making our national total 158.
2 more corona deaths as the spread of the virus escalates in Kenya.
There shall be cessation of all movement by road, rail, or air in and out of
Nairobi, Mombasa, Kilifi, and Kwale under 21 days containment.
Courts have been trying to reduce these cases
and the Judiciary decongests prisons in bid to curb coronavirus spread.
And Mwangaza Prime News begins right now. My name is Daisy Paul. Welcome to the broadcast, and thank you so much for choosing us to inform you tonight. Now on to our first story. Kenya has recorded a total of 158 cases of coronavirus infections. This is after 16 more cases were confirmed today. According to the President Uhuru Kenyatta, 4,000 have been tested, with those testing positive being quarantined to avoid more infections to the citizenry. 4 persons have fully recovered from the disease, as a total of 6 people succumbed to the virus.
As of this morning, we have tested a total of about 4,277 persons. And today, we have an additional 16 persons turning positive, making our national total 158. In the same breath, we also note with gratitude that we have 4 persons that have fully recovered from this disease. We also, as a nation, pray for the quick recovery of those undergoing treatment, as we condole with the families and friends of the 6 that have regrettably lost their lives to this pandemic. This virus is unforgiving, and its rate of growth, if not arrested, is exponential. Yet because it cannot be smelt, it is an enemy that can easily convince you that life can continue as normal. While the majority of people who get it recover, most without showing severe symptoms, if this disease spreads to larger numbers, it can lead to unprecedented pressure on our medical facilities, which may lead to an equally unprecedented loss of life. Therefore, I will go to any length, any lawful length, to respond to COVID-19. Accordingly, to contain and limit the spread of the disease to other parts of the country, the National Security Council has sanctioned and caused the issuance of the following additional measures. Number one, that there shall be cessation of all movement by road, rail, or air in and out of A, the Nairobi metropolitan area, and B, the counties of Kilifi, Kwale, and Mombasa. Number two, the cessation of movement within the Nairobi metropolitan area shall be for an initial containment period of 21 days with effect from 7 p.m. Monday, the 6th of April, 2020. That is today. And three, that the cessation of movement within the counties of Kilifi, Kwale, and Mombasa shall be for an initial containment period of 21 days with effect from 7 p.m. on Wednesday, the 8th of April, 2020. In the intervening period, movement in and out of the coastal strip shall be limited. 4, the Nairobi metropolitan area is designated as follows: the Nairobi City County, part of Kiambu County up to Chania River Bridge, Thika, including Rironi, Dedero, Kiambu Town, part of Machakos County up to Athi River, including Katani, part of Kajiado County, including Kitengela, Kiserian, Ongata Rongai, Ngong Town, and all areas as set out in the order.
Kilifi Deputy Governor Gideon Saburi will spend 3 more days in police custody after having his day in court. Saburi was arraigned before Mombasa Chief Magistrate Edna Nyaloti with public prosecutors seeking to have him detained for 14 days. The Kilifi second-in-command was dramatically arrested last week, just a day after he was declared recovered from coronavirus.
Therefore, Your Honor, in summation, we'll be seeking that to be granted 14 more days of investigation, and that in the interim, during the interval of the 14 days, the respondent in this matter be held at Manyani GK prison. That's all.
Paragraph 6, the respondent is yet to record a cautionary statement with the investigators. And I do not know whether the IPO knows what cautionary statement is. In cross-examination, when I asked him whether the witness has recorded a statement, he said he refused to record. In fact, it was on 3rd of April when they questioned the suspect. So the cautionary statement, when he was given the cautionary statement, his statement was, "I have nothing to say," which he says is a refusal. So there is really no truth in saying that they have not recorded a cautionary statement. They have recorded a cautionary statement. And he has elected.
A family in Lungalunga, Kwale is demanding justice after a 42-year-old Shushaina in Ukunda was allegedly beaten to death by police implementing curfew. And as our reporter Mary Kinyanjui reports, the brother to the deceased say the body had injuries and private parts were oozing blood, and that they were forced by police to bury him, claiming there were no mortuaries to keep him to wait for post-mortem.
A family in Lungalunga, Kwale County is demanding justice after their 42-year-old relative was allegedly beaten to death by police implementing curfew on Wednesday night. The body of the deceased is said to have had serious injuries and private parts were oozing blood, an indication that he had been beaten up by police. It is reported that he died before the neighbors took him to hospital for fear of falling victim of police brutality during curfew hours.
Ukiangalia kwa mguu unakuta kuna jeraha, ilikuwa linatoka damu, ukimwangalia kwa sehemu yake unakuta kweli kuna matone alikuwa ni damu, alafu ute ulikuwa unatoka kwa mdomo ulikuwa na rangi ya sama damu. Sasa ikawa hata ukimwangalia huko kwa mwili yeye alikuwa ni mweupe, lakini ukiangalia kwa mwili unakuta kuna alama za fimbo.
The family also claims to have been forced to bury their relative on Friday last week on claim that there was no motorist to keep him to await post-mortem. However, Kwale County Commissioner said that the family requested to bury their relative instead and that they were not forced.
Sasa ni baada ya wiki hata hajamaliza wiki 11 ameuliwa Diani. Kuna huyu sasa ameuliwa hapo Diani. Sasa itakuwa ndani ya mwezi mmoja kunauliwa zaidi ya watu 10. Mimi kama mkubwa wake ninahitaji haki ya kufuatilizia nijue chanzo na kifo cha ndugu yangu. Maana saa hii nimebaki kuwa mtu pweke sababu huyu ndugu yangu tulikuwa tunasaidiana mambo makubwa sana.
Kwale County human rights activists want police implementing curfew against intruding into people's houses and beating them. In addition, he said the leadership of the police in the area should be transferred for allowing such incidents where citizens are innocently killed.
Polisi wamekuwa wild, polisi wamekuwa ndio matagari. Tunataka Matiang'i, kama umefail na leadership, Matiang'i resign. Hii kazi imekush.
The death of Mwema becomes the third after Hamisi Duma from Mutuga and Eric Ngede from Musambweni were killed. Mary Ikinyendui for Mwangaza, Primetime News.
Unatazama Mwangaza TV, tumaini lako. Vijana ndio tumaini la kesho, na ili kufanikisha hili wanapaswa kupata fursa ya kujitambulisha na kujieleza. Ndiposa Mwangaza TV tunamulika na kuwapa vijana nafasi si haba popote walipo kwa njia ya kuangazia yanayotendeka katika sekta ya gospel, kukuza talanta,
wewe ni Mungu mkuu, wito yako ni mema, nami sasa nasema
tutakuwa tunakutana same place same time every Saturday kuanzia saa 8.
Yes, every Saturday from 2 p.m. only on Mwangaza TV.
Kipindi hiki kimeletwa kwako na Jewel Purified Drinking Water.
Je, ungependa kunywa maji safi na yenye ladha msimu huu ambao kuna tahadhari za magonjwa tofauti?
Jewel Purified Drinking Water ndiyo jibu lako. Maji ya Jewel yametengenezwa kwa kuzingatia kanuni zote za afya na sheria. Maji haya yamepitishwa kwa kupitia vipimo mbalimbali vikiwemo maabara ya KEBS.
Kupata vyeti vya kiafya ikiwemo cheti cha KEBS, KRA stamp, hata safety and hygiene. Jewel Purified Drinking drinking water yana madini ambayo ni muhimu kwa afya ya mwanadamu.
Hali kadhalika, maji haya yametengenezwa kwa kuzingatia usafi wa hali ya juu na ustadi kupitia teknolojia ya kisasa. Jewel Purified Drinking Water hupatikana kwa duka lolote karibu nawe.
Pia tunafanya deliveries kwa sherehe mbalimbali zikiwemo sherehe za makampuni, harusi na zinginezo. Tuna vipimo tofauti kama vile nusu lita, lita 1, lita 1.5, lita 5, lita 10 na lita 20. Kwa maelezo zaidi piga simu kwa nambari hii
0110 000 241 au 0110 000 242.
Jewel Purified Drinking Water, healthy and refreshing.
Unatazama Mwangaza TV, tumaini lako.
Tulipopata hii ripoti kwamba kijana ameaga, tumekuwa na huzuni, tumekimbia. Ndio maana mnaona umati wa watu wamekusanyika hapa. Walikuwa na operation ya curfew kama kawaida, lakini kama kulikuwa na wengine walikuwa na mpango mibaya, ndio maana wakatekeleza hiki kitendo kibaya. Ni huzuni kwa familia.
Na huzuni mwingi kwa ajili ya kijiji changu hiki Mwangaza. Tumepatwa na msiba, huyu kijana amelala. Sasa nilikuwa namchua kama beba huko Nyakoe.
Ujave ni rafiki yangu sana kutoka Nyakoe. Huwa namjua sana wakati anafanya kazi huko ya kubeba nyanya na ni beba mzuri sana. Lakini nimeshangaa sana leo asubuhi kuambia kwamba amepatikana kwamba amekatakatwa na kurushwa kwa miwa ndani.
Tumesikia vibaya, lakini naomba chief awache kuweka watu wa security usiku. Naona watu wanaumia.
As per the directions of the Honorable the Chief Justice and as decided by the National Council on the Administration of Justice, that there are no more open court hearings due to the COVID-19, and as a way of trying to minimize the spread of the pandemic. However, at the same time, we must be alive to the fact that the justice system was already grappling with an overload and backlog of cases, and this situation would only make it worse. So courts have been trying to reduce these cases, and of particular concern is the persons who are in remand custody. The prisons, you may be aware, are already stretched to more than their capacity. It is approximated that they have inmates, and particularly remandees, 3 times the number that they are supposed to hold. So rather than wait for the pandemic to pass or ease, we must find a way of decongesting these facilities. For instance, where persons are in custody and awaiting judgment, and due to the nature and circumstances of their cases, as well as the situation that we find ourselves in, it is not necessary, or we find it will not serve any purpose to continue holding them in custody.
With the government move to impose curfew and social distance among Kenyans so as to curb the spread of coronavirus, its effect being felt among residents of Kampi Turkana in Baringo South. Kampi Turkana is a village in Marigat, which is habited by migrants from Kapedo in Turkana East. The village, with a population of about 3,000 people, majorly Turkana community, who fled from their homes owing to insecurity among warring communities of Turkana and Pokot over the disputed 10 acres of Kapedo land. Okay, and moving on to other stories. Sorry for that. We'll be having that story maybe later. Traders of Githurai Market, Kiambu County, have protested over county askaris who are taking advantage of the curfew and stealing their commodities. According to the traders' chairperson, Samuel Katoto, they left their commodities in the evening, but in the morning they found all taken away by the county askaris. Andrew Njenga, a trader, says that he received a call at night telling him that the county askaris were in the market collecting their commodities. The area MCA, James Mboro, says it is very sad that the county askaris are taking advantage of the curfew to steal commodities of traders.
Traders of Githurai Market have today protested over Kiambu County askaris who are taking advantage of the curfew and stealing their commodities. According to the chairman, Samuel Katoto, he said that they left their commodities and in the morning they found all taken away by the county askaris.
Hawa watu wakajo, juu watu walikuwa wameenda mapema juu ya curfew, walikuja na wakatubebea mahurubaro, wakabeba mikokoteni na hakutufahamisha ati watakuja kubeba. Na ndio sasa tumekuja ndio tupewe vitu yetu. Juu walikuja na wakamwaga hata vitu zenye zilikuwa kwa mikokoteni na kwa mahurubaro.
Andrew Jenga, who is one of the traders in Githurai Market, said that he received a call at night telling him that the county askaris are in the market collecting their commodities.
Kajo wamekuja na wamebeba kila kitu na misigo yetu wamemwaga chini. Toka chini, hatungetoka nje juu kulikuwa na curfew mpaka asubuhi saa 11. Wakati tulienda, tulikuta ndio Kajo wamekuja na wamebeba kila kitu.
The area MCA James Mburu said that it was very sad that the county askaris are taking advantage of the curfew to steal commodities of traders.
It's very sad impunity of the highest order kuona askari wa hapa county wanakuja usiku ya saa 4 saa 5 saa ile kuna curfew wanabeba vitu za watu. Dogo ni
He added up and said, "We tried reaching out to Ruiru sub-county admin, but we were not allowed." Reporting for Mwangaza Prime News, I'm Margaret Kamau.
Citizens in the country have expressed their views on government's new measures that was spelled today by the President Uhuru Kenyatta. The residents in Nairobi say the measures will have a hard impact to the economy. Joseph Kielo, who was the resident, to tell us more of that.
According to the pandemic COVID-19 disease that has affected our country, put on measures to the Kenyans in order to avoid themselves from being affected with this COVID-19 disease. And some of the measures that were put, it was, there shall be no movement by road, rail, or air and in and out of Nairobi metropolitan area. Some of the counties that were affected being Kilifi, Kwale, Mombasa and some other areas in Nairobi. The metropolitan area shall be for initial containment period of 21 days from today 7 p.m. President Kenyatta also insisted that no one should go out of designated areas. After having a talk with Roysambu residents, some were happy at being impressed by the directive measures that were put and others screaming of not paying rent at all due to the economic crisis. They also urged the government not to put restrictive measures on curfew and urging the security officers not to use excessive power.
Mimi kama mkaaji wa Roysambu, mfanyikazi wa
kafyu yenye tumewekewa, hiyo ni jambo imechukuliwa na wengine ni kama advantage. Sasa kama venye nimezoea kupata pesa, sio kama venye napata siku hizi. Sasa unakuja unadhokoma kama masaa mawili. Ukipata hiyo muda ni mchache sana pale. Mchache sana. Hiyo muda unaweza pata 200 ama upate 150. Halafu ukikaa hapa unasikia umefukuzwa. Ukipata 200 hiyo pesa haiwezi kusaidia. Sasa kwa nyumba umegojewa. Lazima chakula ni wewe, nyumba ulipe, hiyo pesa haitoshi. Sasa hiyo kazi tumewekewa, hata mimi ningesema tu angeongeza hata kama saa moja toke hapa saa 2, watu wa boda boda tunasaidia, watu wanachelewa. Mtu akichelewa unachukua kama boda boda unakuja nyumbani, unaona Sasa hiyo sheria kafi sema tu hata kama ni kuongeza at least sawa, lakini sasa kuna watu wengine wanateka advantage. Kana wanakuja wananyanyasa sana. Ukisema kama umechelewa dakika 2, ukipatana na yeye pale akufungia na kuchukulia kila kitu, anachukua pesa, anachukua simu. Sasa unashindwa ni askari ama ni karao ama ni mwizi. Huwezi kujua.
Mimi bila niona nafasi kwa sini kwa hapa kwa hasa nini kule nini na issue ya rent size inaweza ya baraka usingoje kuna size kuna mnapiga kura na nini na hiyo nyingine hakuna kitu kingine kama hiyo. Then the other thing ningeambia Mr. President, tukadai umetokea kafu na umesema tusindisha but kuna zile vitu unafaa kutokea huku mtaani sisi hapo maiti
Getting back to the story that we missed up earlier from Baringo, with the government move to impose curfew and social distance among Kenyans so as to curb the spread of coronavirus, its effect being felt among residents of Kampi Turkana in Baringo South. Kampi Turkana is a village in Marigat which is habited by migrants from Kapedo in Turkana East. The village, with a population of about 3,000 people, majorly Turkana community, who fled from their homes owing to insecurity from warring communities of Turkana and Pokot over the disputed 10 hectares of Kapendo land.
With the government move to impose curfew and social distance among Kenyans to curb the spread of coronavirus, its effects has started to be felt among residents of Kampi Turkana in Baringo South. Kampi Turkana is a village in Marigat which is habited by migrants from Kapedo in Turkana East. The village, which has a population of about 3,000 people, majorly Turkana community, who fled from their home owing to insecurity among warring community of Turkana and Pokot over the disputed 10 hectares Kapendo land. People here depend on Perkera irrigation scheme for their daily livelihood and for the basic needs. But after the breakout of coronavirus, many have been rendered jobless, forced to depend on well-wishers. Sometimes residents here sleep in one meal a day or going hungry.
Tuko hapa hata watoto wengine asomi, maji mkuliva kama ulivi kaivyo. Haya chakula tunakula mahindi ile nyeupe, hakuna karanga. Kila kitu hivyo.
As the coronavirus continues to spread with increase in number of people turning positive, many people here die of hunger as they have nothing else to have for their daily bread. A visit to the village, the effects is toll to the aging and young since they cannot fend for themselves, while others have fled the area, place they can find food.
Sisi tumeumia hapa na njaa. Wakati ya 2007 ndo walikuwa wanapeana relief. Lakini kwa wakati hatupati hiyo relief mpaka saizi. Wanafunzi yenye tuko nao manyumbani wakati anak ndo walipata uhuru wa kusoma. Lakini saizi serikali wanatumia pesa kwa mashule, kama si hatuna pesa watoto wetu wanarudishwa manyumbani. Mimi naenda kugaragara scheme, narudi na kutana na mtoto nyumbani, maybe nimekosa huko, tunalala siku hiyo njaa. Nipate mboga green tunakula hivyo. Nipate mahindi nyeupe tunakula.
Njaa nazombua watu. Mgonjwa nazombua watu.
na kaa tu chaura Mungu.
We meet an aging mother preparing a meal for his grandson, which was the only meal for the day, not knowing what was in store for the next day. They appealed to the government to provide relief food for them so as not to succumb to hunger.
Rani amekuwa na kitu kidogo, tunaomba. Kama hakuna, si tunalala hivyo. Tuna chochote. Serikali naomba utusaidie sisi watu wa Baringo. Nyesi tuko naye ni shida ya njaa mpaka kwa wanafunzi. Wanafunzi wanaumia shuleni, sisi tunaumia kijijini. Sasa hakuna venye tunasaidia wanafunzi. Maybe nyinyi mtusaidie.
Recently, Baringo County Assembly approved 200 million shillings to fight the spread of COVID-19 by providing relief food to the needy population in the county.
Tulipata 207 mpaka wa leo relief. Jaipata tena, tunasikia msaada inaenda mbalimbali, jaifika hapa hivi.
Margaret Kambo reporting for Mwangaza Prime Time News.
And with that story, Mwangaza Prime News is taking a wrap up. And thank you so much for every person who took his time to make sure this broadcast is prosperous tonight. Thank you so much for keeping it Mwangaza TV. Keep watching Mwangaza TV for much more. We'll be having a repeat of the program that aired in the morning about prayers to the nation. And it is a duty of every Kenyan to pray for the country as we are facing the biggest tragedy of coronavirus. And keep watching Mwangaza TV for much more. Good night. My name is Daisy Paul.
Unatazama Mwangaza TV, tumaini lako.
Kipindi hiki kinakujia kwa ushirikiano na Jewel Professional College na Jewel Institute of Advanced Driving.
Hizi ni taasisi za masomo zenye mafunzo ya hali ya